I think you need to probably tailor your game plan, to the stage and level of development that you guys are at. Obviously, at a low junior level, it's probably more about kick forward and get the ball forward as much as possible. As you start getting into higher ages, you can probably be a bit more intricate in your game plan and start introducing things around stoppages and so forth where you might be able to gain an edge. It's really important that whatever game plan that you are, that all of your team understand and know that. And so that's why checking and communicating all the time that they understand where they are at is important, be it as level as Auskick level or be it at AFL level. We'll always have guys that don't understand and often don't ask. So we find by encouraging them to ask, hopefully they can get on the same page and create a game plan that's simple enough for them to be able to execute.
Play to your strengths. If you're a little side, run, carry the football. If you've got some big guys, look to go through them at certain stages of your game plan. But certainly just the run and carry. And one thing we've got to remember is that it's got to be fun for the kids. You might have this game plan that you've got from somewhere at senior football. Strip it right back and just try to tick off things as you go along. Round one, you might just look at a half a dozen key things, get that ticked off, for the first 5 rounds, and then look at something else. And you'll see that the kids towards the back end of the season will develop and will work through your game plan as much as they can.
Simplicity, built around the fundamentals of the game. Obviously, field position at senior level, there's not much of it nowadays, but at junior level there is. The kids have still got to understand what it means to be a forward pocket player. They still understand what it means to be a rover. They've got to understand what it means when you're a key defender, when you go for a mark and when to spoil. So those fundamentals have got to be ingrained in a kid so they become habitual, because I've always felt that players become creatures of habit. And the better ones become creatures of the right habit because they master the basics better than the ordinary player. So to teach and educate the fundamentals of the game, I think, is absolutely paramount for the growth of the game, but also the growth of the individual. What I dislike and I get frustrated with is the coaches at junior level want to become monkey see, monkey do coaches. Just because the big boys on Friday night at the MCG are starting to use an 18-man zone, now they want to incorporate that in junior footy when you've got probably 40 minutes to teach it throughout the course of a week times 2 nights. It's just illogical to me. Concentrate on the fundamentals, teach the boys how to win the ball. Once you win it, can they handle it? When they handle it, can they use it? And then worry about the speed of the game.
I think this is going to be completely dependent upon your age group and the level of, the skill level of your team, but at the same time, you want to create a game plan that works with the players that you've got. There's no point creating a game plan if you don't have the cattle, essentially. That's my view. So I try and understand something that you can carry out with the players that you've got.
Yeah, look, I think you've got to have your coaching staff on board. You've got to let the people that make the decisions on putting you as the coach, let them know what your game plan is, and you probably would have done that through interview processes, and you've got to make sure that you stick to that and be honest and be fair. You can get players in and just get their advice. Again, always, I think sometimes coaches are afraid to go and get advice from players and see what they think, regardless whether they're 12s, under 12s, under 14s, or I think this year in the EDFL, I think we're under 11s and 13s. You go and talk to your players because they're the ones out there, they're the ones that experience it, they're the ones that seen it from a different lens to what you are.
Yeah, certainly. Depending on, I suppose, the structures at your club, it can be really inclusive. We have a senior club attached, so the seniors play in a particular way, knowing that our juniors won't be able to play to that level per se. I've worked with other coaches at the club to make it similar so that when they transition to senior football, they understand the structures, but that it's attainable for everybody in the junior group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would encourage it to be inclusive. So you mould the game plan around the players that you've got and what you've got to work with, and then you get their input as to what they think would be a good way to play the game. So you guide and steer the conversation, but your players are actually giving you the answers and helping shape the game plan because they're the ones that have to execute it. So really important you get their buy-in and input.